I have here an 11-foot drywall lift. You can see there's all the pieces. I'm going to just quickly do an overview of how this is going to be assembled and some of the ways that you can easily break it down and reassemble it. And then we're going to test it out and lift up some heavy items using this lift. So the first thing you want to do for assembly is take the base here. You're going to disengage the locking ring and then push that base over so that it engages, locks into place, and then make sure that you get that brake engaged right there, so it's going to hold it in position for the rest of the assembly process. So the next step is to take the main frame and slip it into this little groove right here. You can see there's a little triangle and then there's a bottom piece, and this is hollow right here. So you're going to slip this in, make sure it slips all the way down and engages down on that bottom plate. Just like that. So next you're just going to attach the handle right here on the outside of the crank wheel. So now we're going to get this into the operating mode. We're going to do that by disengaging the brake and letting this arm fall all the way forward. Nice and easy. Just kind of let it turn as it comes down. As soon as it gets all the way to the bottom, then you want to push it forward back a little bit. Then you can re-engage the brake. And now you can see it's locked. There's a little pin on this backside that engages to make sure that it's going to keep from moving in and out until you're ready and you move that pin out of the way. So the next thing you're going to want to do is let the brake in, lower, take some slack off of that, and you can see this little safety retainer immediately falls out of the way, and that's going to make it so that these telescopic arms can now go up and down if you crank the lever. So to attach the cradle, it's super easy. This pin right here is just going to slip into the hole in the top. You do want to make sure you have this engaged, so pull it up, engage that safety clip right there so that it won't flop open on you, and then drop that down into the slot just like that. So the next step is to attach these support arms. You can see there's some little arms out here to catch drywall or plywood when you're using the boards, and it's got this little angle piece, and then there's angle pieces on top here. You're going to slip it in and pull it until it latches into place, and then you can do the same thing for this other side. Both arms are identical, so you can just slip them in until they clip into place. So the last step here is to attach these outriggers. They're going to go in the sides here, and you can see they've got holes along it, and then there's a pull pin right there. So you're going to make sure you get it, and you can see it's just going to slip into one of those pull slots like that, or all the way in. So you can put that where you need it, and you can extend them all the way out if you've got a full size board and you need some extra support out on those ends. This is now fully assembled and ready to start using. When you want to lift it up, just crank this handle. It does have the brake that is always engaged, so if you need to lower down, make sure you've got a hold of the handle. Then you can disengage the brake there, and you can let it back down. When you want to position or move things, you can see this swings really easy. If you don't want these up, you can kick them down out of the way. So those are super easy. Those are there just to help hold boards, keep them from falling off. It positions easy as well. It's got the wheels to let it roll. It's got brakes on all three wheels if you want to lock it, plus that brake in the middle that you can engage. So this is going to be super easy. It goes up to 11 feet. We're going to grab a board, throw it on here, and we're going to test out how easy it is to lift something up, even if it's super heavy. So it's really nice. This is a really heavy piece here, and I can wiggle it around. I can turn it. I can position this however I need to. It's super easy for me to move and to position. I can pull it one way or the other. I can use my feet down on the legs to make sure it's turned exactly how I want. And then once I get it where I want it, I can then hoist it up using the crank. So right here you can see these board holders are holding this whole piece on. That way you can tip it, you can position it. If you want to lean it back to where it's flat, you can just come back, tip it back up, re-engage that safety retainer, and now it's ready to lift up. So it's going to be super easy if you want to set something down on it and you don't want to have to lift it all the way up. You can just lift it up onto it with it in the position like this. You can get your board on there, set it down, then you can tip it flat and then raise it up to the ceiling. So whenever you're lifting stuff up above your head, it's always recommended that you put on a hard hat in case something falls. It's not going to hurt you if it hits your head. So let's go ahead and lift this up so we can attach it to the ceiling. Okay, so I got it up there. Now I can get up and attach it up there so it's up there for storage, and then we can pull the hoist down. So the good news is when you're ready to take something back down, or if you need to take something back down, you can use this hoist as well. You just have to be careful when you're operating the brake and the lever here. So I'm going to slowly disengage that brake and then let it down using the crank and just doing it nice and slow. This is a heavy item and I don't want it to come crashing down on top of me. The good news is if I let go of everything, the brake is automatically engaged, so it will stop if something happens and it comes crashing down. That brake will engage as a safety measure just to help keep something from getting damaged. This 11-foot drywall lift is super nice. It's really convenient and easy to use. The setup was super easy as well, the assembly. It's really easy when you want to lift something up. You set it on it, get it positioned where you want, and it's easy to move around. Grab the crank, start cranking. And this does go up 11 feet. You can see I'm out here in my garage. It's going all the way to the ceiling, no problem whatsoever. And this is a tall garage. And it's time to come back down. Carefully engage the brake and use your hand on the crank to lower it back down. And you can move on to the next piece. This is going to be super useful if you're doing sheetrock or any kind of plywood on a ceiling or up on a tall wall, and you don't want to sit there and have to hold it while you screw it or attach it to the ceiling. Or even if you need to put some furniture up on the ceiling for storage or lift anything up to a heavy spot, it's got lots of space here. You can see if you extend these all the way out to the edges on both sides, it's going to be able to handle a super long board. You can see like that. So you've got plenty of support out at the edge so you don't break your board from it being held without having any support on it. And it's all attached. It folds down really nice and easy when you're done using it. You can disassemble it, collapse it all down into a small package for storage. It's not going to take up a ton of space. This is a super handy tool to have and makes sheetrock so much easier when you're doing it up on a ceiling.